Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another stream from the ECC. Today we have Lightning Unicorns versus LyNx. I am joined by Faded,
What's up, everyone?
and as a streamer we have Timmy. So, Faded, how do you think? We're just gonna go straight into the predictions. But first, actually, we should promote a bit of what we have. The ECC is a European league that anyone can effectively join as long as you're comfortable with how the rules are set. There is, if you scroll down, a Discord button which links you to the Discord you join, and you're able to partake in the league matches such as one like this. There is also the Twitter which notifies you as to when other streams are partaking, and also the YouTube where if you have missed a stream, you can go catch up and rewatch as many times as you want. I believe there's also a donation button where you can donate as little or as much as you like, all is appreciated. Also, there is a Mascherino page, if I'm not mistaken, that will float around in the chat every now and then. Timmy, do you remember the code? Thank you. The code will be ECCS4, all caps, and you donate to a prize pool for those at the end of the league, the season, sorry. And depending on how much we get, depends on how much goes around to the rest of the divisions. There are 5 here at the moment, and this is a Division 2 game. So, Faded, how do you think today is going to go?
Well, there's not a lot we know about these two teams, I think we've only seen LyNx Clan on stream so far when they played against Redwire Blizzard, and they did end up losing that game in Game 5. But right now, both these teams are neck and neck in the standings. They're tied 4th with a 1-1 record. So, yeah, it's not really much to separate these two teams in terms of the standings. But really what I think for this game, just judging by the fact I've only seen LyNx Clan play, and of course, I don't really know much about the Lightning Unicorns. So, based on LyNx Clan's performance in their game, even though they did lose at Game 5, were pretty solid, to be honest. So I think I will give this one to the LyNx Clan. I think I can see this going to a Game 5, honestly. I'll give it, 3-2 to the LyNx Clan.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go somewhat similar with you. I definitely think it's gonna go Game 5. I can't quite decide who's gonna take it, but I'm gonna go for Lightning Unicorns. So we have both teams here. Do we jump into a little intro screen, and we will be back with you when the game starts. Game 1 underway. Lightning Unicorns versus LyNx Clan. Ball is placed into the center. Cherry managed to get a nice upfield hit off the backboard. Unfortunately, the defender couldn't reach it. Mix does recover well and places it off to the side. Markey gets one over Adri. Mix trying to play away Markey again. Anthony this time getting a hit to the side, sorry, and Adri getting a nice clear. Obscure now taking the ball into the air. Tries to go for a backboard. No, he places it wide. The ball is floating in the air. Only the Unicorn players are able to hit it at the moment. Adri to Mix. Mix now taking his time. Looks like he's going to go for an air dribble. Gets it over one. Can he get it around the other? The ball is bounced, and unfortunately Mix couldn't get the read of where it was being placed. Anthony now with an opportunity, and Obscure with zero boost managed to reach it in time. Mix dropping it into the center. Markey to Cherry. Adri with a great interception. Adri now trying to get around Obscure and just completely denied. Anthony trying to get into the center, and Cherry with a good block. Unfortunately, this isn't enough. Thankfully, Markey is there to play it. Unfortunately, though, Adri is there with a good read. The ball played back into the center. This time by Anthony. Mix is up. The ball's down, and Cherry just gets a nice pinch away. Faded. Looking at how both teams have defended, how do you think they can improve? Because it doesn't seem they're doing the best.
Yeah, certainly not. I feel like shot accuracy has been a bit of an issue so far. Seen many balls just like being slammed to the ground or being put just wide of the goal, to be honest. And like I'm looking at the stats, there's so many shots so far on both sides, which is a bit irregular for league games, to be honest. So yeah, really, they just need to be better with their placement. Maybe find some passes like they're doing right now, and that can maybe give both teams an easier time of finding the net.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, even then, the defense is a bit shaky. I mean, you see that double commit there by Cherry and Markey. You just can't find an equilibrium if that makes sense. Nonetheless, Mix plays it high. Obscure tries to reach. He does thankfully get there. Adri was up ready to read the bounce back down. Obscure now trying to get it around Anthony. Anthony now playing it into the center with a great block. Cherry keeping it high. Markey tries to reach it, gets it around Mix. Anthony now trying to get into the center. Obscure misses. Adrian gets a shot off, and Cherry with a great save. A demo now. Mix back in defense on the respawn. Markey taking his time, takes the boost. Tries to get around Mix. The ball played up. It looks like it's going to roll into the center. Markey encourages it, and unfortunately Anthony is the only one to reach it. Obscure now hitting it back to the right hand side. Mix getting a nice clear upfield. Markey can he reach it? He can. It hits the ceiling. Adri takes a nice touch, and Obscure just manages to get the demo. Anthony getting it upfield. Mix unfortunately misses. Obscure taking this to the side. Looks like he's going to try and get a center ball. The ball bounces in, and Anthony ready for a pass opportunity that he couldn't quite reach with an interception of LyNx Clan. Adri keeping this upfield. Anthony with a great 50. Adri now trying to get a center ball, it seems, and the ball bounces high. Cherry the one to reach it. The ball is further in the Lightning Unicorns half. The ball now cleared upfield. Markey managing to get a hit across to the side. Anthony just unable to get a nice center ball to his teammate Mix. Taking his time trying to make sure he doesn't get dunked by Cherry, which is exactly what happens. Obscure taking it around one. And Anthony is there. Adri waiting on the wall, places it into the center. Mix trying to get it around Markey. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. Markey trying to get a shot off. He does, and it's in.
Finally, LyNx Clan find a gap in the defense of the Lightning Unicorns, and yeah, it was just completely open for him. No one really there to defend in time, and yeah, no defenders in position. And now it's just a minute and 9 seconds left, and Lightning Unicorns, they've had chances, but they really need to force the issue now if they want to get back into this one.
Indeed, Markey looked like he went for a fake play, and Adri wasn't having any of it. Obscure taking this up high. Anthony with a zero boost still tries to get it in favor of his team. Markey taking this down the wall. Adri playing it back into the center. Cherry is there to clear it upfield. Markey, can he reach it? He can, but Anthony does get an interception. Mix getting a nice 50. Zero boost and tries to get it. Markey with a great pinch. Looked like he was going straight in, but no, not enough power or height on it to make it a potential threat. Mix playing it high to Adri. He can get the read, and fortunately he just tapped it down into Obscure, I believe that was. Anthony now taking the ball across the wall, tries to pinch it into the center. He does with the help of Markey. Unfortunately, Mix and Cherry were both battling at that. Marky now taking another shot off, hits the crossbar, bounces out with a save, I believe, from Anthony, who now follows it up, placing it across to Mix, who's trying to get a center ball. Marky is there. Marky now trying to get it away, but Anthony making sure it's still within goal distance, and it's in.
Well, Andrew coming out clutch with 2 seconds on the clock. That is insane. And they want to double commit on the defense, but Anthony with a great pass from the corner and just put it into an open net. Great stuff for the Lightning Unicorns to find an equalizer. And now overtime is on the horizon.
Indeed it is, with a second to go. The ball is still kept up. Unfortunately, it does seem it does go into overtime. Kickoff hits. The ball more in favor of LyNx Clan. Adri with a nice bit of control, gets it over one and just under another. Unfortunately, now he has 0 boost to act upon it. Tries to get a nice backboard hit. He does, in fact. Mix trying to get it around Marky, which isn't the case. And Anthony gets it over one. The ball is placed high. Adri, can he read it? Unfortunately, he's too high himself. Anthony trying to get a shot off. Unfortunately, it wasn't strong enough of a hit to even reach the net. Anthony now, another opportunity. Marky high. Looks like it was a potential A-dribble opportunity that he decided to not go for, seeing as Marky was in fact ready for a block. And Adri now looks like he's going to try and reach it for a second hit. Mix is there, trying to hit it high to Anthony. Anthony trying to get it around Cherry. Unfortunately, there was a block. Adri onto the back wall, leaving it for Obscure and Marky to both go for. Mix looks like he's trying to get into the center. Cherry hits it down. Marky is there, tries to get a control play. He does. It's popped high, and thankfully Mix gets one hit. Now tries to get it around the opposition. Cherry goes for a demo. Mix manages to get it around him. And Anthony now with an opportunity getting around Obscure. Marky hits it high. Mix is there. Gets one hit off the ceiling. Can he read it? Unfortunately, Cherry was there. Otherwise, that would have been another goal opportunity. Obscure hitting it upfield. Cherry with a block on Anthony. Mix getting 50'd, and it looks like it is still an opportunity for Adri to work with. Unfortunately, Marky did manage to get a 50. He tries to go for another one with a pinch on the wall, but Mix managed to get there. Marky getting a demo there on Mix after the loss on the 50. You see that these teams more or less upping their defense, and their offense is still lacking a bit, wouldn't you say, Faded?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in overtimes, like, it is, pretty common for the teams to play a bit more passive, because they do not want to be making that mistake, because one goal and the game is over. But yeah, this actually looks really similar to how it was in regulation time, if I'm being honest. It just looks like the exact same story, and it's just going to come down to who can, make that play, being a more proactive team here, or who just makes the first critical mistake.
Indeed, I mean, a mistake as simple or as severe as any can truly put your team at a disadvantage. Anthony now with control on the ball, unfortunately doesn't get quite a significant hit. Mix hit, tries to go for it, and Adri now tries to get a center ball. Unfortunately, Obscure managed to clear it. Cherry getting it over Anthony, but Mix takes it past one. Unfortunately, Marky was there. Adri now trying to tap it down to his teammate. Marky does counter. Cherry's in the mid. Marky tries to get it there, but Anthony gets a nice block. Obscure tries to get it under Mix. Mix makes sure that his car is perfectly positioned. One misses, and Anthony secures the goal.
Finally, the Lightning Unicorns close this game out, and it is Mix just hanging it off the corner wall. Cherry can't make that read, unfortunately, and Marky is just beat out by Anthony. And the Lightning Unicorns, they do finally end out the first game. It was just neck and neck the whole time, not much to separate both these teams. And we'll see what happens in this next game.
Game 2. First, going to Lightning Unicorns. Second, could go either way. An early start as Cherry managed to get around all the players. AG does get back in time. Mix trying to take this up the wall. Cherry with an awkward rotation back, it seems. Obscure, however, does take advantage, tries to get it around AG. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. AG now trying to get it into the center. Cherry with a nice block. Anthony, good control hit, gets demoed, unfortunately, by Cherry. Marky places it high. Cherry tries to read it, hits it back off the backboard, and Anthony gets it around one. AG with a nice bump play. Can he recover in time? Unfortunately not. And Marky, with his boost and the ball, gets it around Mix, pinches it wide. Obscure with an opportunity, gets it around Anthony with a nice 50. Adri now taking it high. Cherry does read the bounce well. Mix trying to get this around one, does do so. Tries to block Marky, which he does well also. Obscure playing it high. Marky tries to read it. Adri is the one to hit it. Mix hitting it up the wall. Cherry pinching off the ceiling. And Mix just trying to get rid of it, taking it the other side. Adri now tries to get a center hit, it seems, or a flick. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite successful. Marky now taking this into the center. Obscure is there, doesn't quite get his angle, but still has an opportunity and scores.
Yeah, it's a great recovery from Obscure there off of his first opportunity, because that one came off the corner and he tried for a shot but came for the angle. But yeah, that was just superb recovery from him. Adri can't get back in time, and LyNx Clan once again getting themselves the first goal.
This time, however, a lot sooner into the game. Or a lot earlier into the game, sorry. This time it's only taken a minute and a half, and last time it took over 4 minutes. So maybe this is a lot more of a goal fest for both teams, hopefully. Anthony taking this upfield. Mix making sure Marky can't read it. Unfortunately, Marky is still there. The ball is high. Mix tries to read it, make sure he does realize that Marky doesn't have a boost and hits it under. Mix now keeping it high, doesn't hit the ceiling, otherwise it could have been potentially a difficult save for Obscure. Marky takes around one. Adrian now trying to take a shot off Cherry and Obscure getting a pinch. Marky is there. Zero boost, hits it off the back wall. Mix getting a nice clear. Obscure hitting that high. Anthony and Marky both there. Anthony playing it dangerously towards his own net with Mix.
Oh, for goodness sake, why is this happening? Mix with, gotta admit, a nice redirect into his own net. Unfortunately, was the wrong net. Adri was there for that. It was pretty clear for him to just boom that away, but I think it must have been miscommunication or just panic from Mix's side for that. And unfortunately for them, that's them now at a 2-goal deficit.
Indeed, this is going to be very difficult to pull back from, especially with only half the game going and a lot more of a dominant performance by LyNx Clan. Mix trying to clear this, and Cherry into Marky. Marky with a nice shot, and unfortunately Mix couldn't reach it.
That was pretty nice on Marky, not gonna lie. Cherry with a great pass up to him, and then he just puts it with a backflip, and Mix did redirect it into his own net with an attempted save. He was close, but it is not enough. And now LyNx Clan really getting things going here in the second game, as they have 3 goals to their name with just half the game left to go.
A nice 50 from Marky, gets a second one. Now gets a bump on AG. Obscure does go for it, but Marky managed to get into the center. Obscure is still waiting, and unfortunately doesn't get his flip as he probably intended. Cherry now getting it over one, tries to get an opportunity, bounces high, tries to score it, and the lack of defense.
Yeah, lack of defense right there. I think Cherry, he definitely, I think that whiff must have caught the Lightning Unicorns guards, Lightning Unicorns defense off guard there. They just did not expect the whiff, and really they couldn't do anything about it. But now Cherry with that play gets the 4th goal, and really it is going to be really tough for Lightning Unicorns to get back into this one with this huge of a deficit.
Indeed it is. Anthony now taking this upfield, trying to just keep it away from LyNx Clan. Marky does get there. Unfortunately, he misses. Mix also does do so, and I assume that was on the fact of him trying to block, but Mix has just played it back to his own net again.
Mix, what are you doing, my man? Yeah, that was just a touch as to say, well, you do not want to be doing that in your own half, I guarantee you. But Obscure does take it. He'll say thank you very much, and that is now 5-0. It's just like a completely different story to the last game. It was so close, but now it's just, yeah, goal fest, as you said earlier, Cars. It's just unreal to see.
Indeed, I mean, Anthony just getting himself a goal on the other end, but it seems like too little too late.
Yeah, for sure. Like, 4 goals in 1 minute and a half. I'm sure it's been done before, but it's highly unlikely considering, the Lynx kind of had really strong defense so far. So really just want to try, get some confidence back. They might be a little bit tilted after those goals, but yeah, just try, get themselves into the swing of things once again and hopefully come back in the next game a bit stronger.
Indeed, Anthony with a nice pinch, tries to keep it upfield. He does definitely seem to be more attacking now. Tries to get into the center. Mix, taking his time. Gets another touch, it bounces into the center dangerously. Adri, keeping it high. Anthony, trying to get it into the center. It seems to be done so with the help of the opposition. Obscure taking the boost. Cherry going up for the ball, and Mix unable to reach it himself. Anthony keeping it high. Adri and Marky both up for it. The ball is off target, but Mix with a great save. Obscure dropping it down. Mix trying to get it clear. He does do so great. Adri reads the bounce from Cherry's hit, and Marky keeping it high. The ball doesn't bounce exactly down as Lynx Clan hoped for, but Obscure with another opportunity. Anthony this time getting a bit of control. Tries to get it under him. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. Adri in net. Mix and Marky battle out again. Obscure pinching it high, and Anthony dropping it low. Obscure with another opportunity. Mix and Adri both going up for that dangerously. And Anthony with a great hit away. Cherry tries to get another opportunity as they realise that this game is certainly theirs, and game 2 going to Lynx Clan.
Yeah, it was just outstanding performance for the Lynx Clan here, but I think it was just tons of mistakes on Lightning Unicorn side. But as we said, hopefully they could get some confidence back for this next game.
Game 3. 1-1. An equal opportunity for both teams. Obscure hitting this down into the center. Marky is there, and Adri with a great interception. Cherry taking it to the side. Anthony is there, tries to get under him. He does do so. Obscure trying to get another opportunity, but Anthony keeps it into the middle, and Cherry with a great save. Mix couldn't quite follow it. Marky placing this into the center, goes for a second touch. Thankfully, Adri was there. Ball bouncing high. Mix couldn't quite read it, and Adri with the clear off. A dangerous one as Marky gets a shot off. Thankfully, Anthony was there for it. Obscure with an opportunity. Does get it around one, but Mix waits patiently. Gets a potential second hit. Looks like it was almost a fake on Obscure, although it may not have been intended. Mix keeping it high. A good pass. Unfortunately, Adri just didn't have enough boost to reach the ball. Mix trying to get a flick. Unfortunately, this looks like it's more in favor of Lynx Clan. Mix going for another shot. Unfortunately, Cherry was there. A good shot by Adri, but Obscure got the save. Cherry keeping it high. Mix follows it up. Tries to get into the center. Unfortunately, Marky is there. Mix with the help of Marky with the help of Mix, unfortunately gets it over his teammate Adri, I believe, and Adri now forced to rotate back with Cherry potentially going for a demo. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and Adri now has control of the ball. Tries to go for boost. Unfortunately, Marky does block him and continues to block him. Cherry tries to get it around Mix. He does. Cherry now trying to get it around Anthony. That also was the case, and Marky with a nice shot. Mix with an opportunity of the save. He does do so. Marky with a great pass into the center. Obscure was there. Unfortunately, Anthony was there to get the save. Marky with a dangerous bit of play. Adri trying to get a center ball. Unfortunately, couldn't get a second hit on himself. And Mix couldn't quite get a nice follow-up. Although he does go for another one. Unfortunately, Cherry does hit it downfield. Anthony now. Good control on the ball. Tries to get it over Marky. He does do so. Tries to get it around Obscure. Unfortunately, the flick didn't exactly work out. Mix with another pass into the center. Thankfully, his teammate was there. This time it was as he had intended several other times, with a player in defense. Faded. On the topic of rotation, how do you think these teams are doing in that?
In that regard, I feel like both teams, just rotation's very solid so far, not gonna lie. I mean, I've seen quite a few times, more so from the Lightning Unicorn side, where you just cut rotation quite a lot. Which sometimes is a good thing, but really it's just led to them losing possession, which is not what you want. Really, rotation is not a concern for either of these teams right now. It just seems like there's quite a few small mistakes being made and not making many proactive plays, such as passing plays and whatnot. But yeah, it looks a lot more like game one where they are playing solid, but I say that, Mix finally finds a gap in the defense, and yeah, this was not really... Yeah, it's lack of rotation from LyNx, even though they've been really strong. Finally, it does break down, which from these lower level games, it does happen eventually. But yeah, there you go. Lightning Unicorns open up the scoring.
Indeed, I mean, if you do pay attention to that opportunity that Mix thankfully secured, both of his teammates were ready for that. Anthony was sitting behind him. Thankfully, Mix took the shot and secured it. But I believe Adri was also somewhat in the opposition's half, ready for a potential mishap and get the goal himself. And Marky securing a goal, tying it up.
Yeah, it was that whiff from Adri, and then I feel like that was Mixed there as well. It was just, yeah, two unfortunate whiffs on the side of like Unicorns and no one in net. And yeah, it's just those small mistakes that Marky was able to capitalize on. It does happen quite a lot at these, I dare say, lower levels. But yeah, it's been a consistent problem in this game in particular, where it's just been some uncharacteristic whiffs, you could say, for both these teams. But now it is tied 1-1. Both teams again with an equal chance to take this game.
Indeed, that is the case. Mix trying to take us into the center. Cherry does hit it over to Marky. Marky trying to get it off the backboard. Adri is there and so is Cherry. Thankfully, Adri was able to get the block off. Mix keeping it high. Drops it down and Marky is there ready. Anthony trying to get it around. Does, but Cherry is there. Anthony does try and get back in time. He does do that quite well, and Obscure gets a nice block off on Mix. Marky with a nice pinch into the center. Adri does read it well, however. Mix trying to beat Cherry to the ball. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. The ball is now bouncing in the half of Lightning Unicorns, and Adri now finally getting it out. Marky trying to get a flick. He does get it around Mix. Tries to get it around Adri also. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. The ball bouncing down. I believe Anthony is to follow it. He does. Obscure is waiting on net patiently. Marky getting it around one. He's got enough boost to do something with this. Tries to play it into the center. Unfortunately, Adri was there. Anthony now gets a nice redirect, and Adri gets a good read. Mix was also up to challenge. This is a dangerous position for Lightning Unicorns. Anthony does hit it down, and it goes into overtime.
Yeah, that was a dangerous opportunity there for the Lightning Unicorns. There was a double commit on that opportunity, and the LyNx clan could have potentially played off of it, but I don't think anyone was in a good position to really do that. But now we're into OT. There was again another early opportunity for the Lightning Unicorns, but it seems to be balancing out now. We'll have to see who can take this one.
Indeed, Adri plays it across to Anthony. Anthony now with a good bit of control play. Tries to get it into the center. Unfortunately, it's a weak hit. Cherry gets a nice pinch. Looks like he's going into the center with no one back from the Lightning Unicorns. A bump from Mix does manage to get them a miss hit from Marky. keeping them in the game. Obscure takes a shot off, and Adri with another save keeps it wide, tries to take it around Marky. Unfortunately, it doesn't do so well, and Mix gets it over the one. The ball bounces high. Marky's there, gets it around Anthony. The ball is still within reach for LyNx Clan. LyNx Unicorns so desperately trying to keep it away. Obscure keeping it into the center again. Anthony getting it around Cherry. Obscure trying to get it to Marky. The ball is now cleared, but still a lot of pressure by LyNx Clan. The ball kept high. Cherry does get a miss. Marky is there, tries to get it across to Cherry. Cherry looked like he was gonna rotate back. Good decision. Marky keeping it away. Mix tries to get a pass into the center. Marky is there. Adri gets it off the back ball. Anthony keeps it down, bounces it off the crossbar. Unfortunately, it's not in. Marky trying to play this to Cherry. Cherry with a good bit of control play keeps it and lays it off for Marky. Marky now trying to get this into the center. Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough boost. Leaves it for Obscure. Adri hitting this into the middle dangerously. Cherry gets a shot off. Unfortunately, hits the post. Anthony now keeping the ball into the air. Tries to get it around one. He does. Tries to get it into the center. He manages to do that. Also, Mix keeps it high. Cherry up as well as Adri. Anthony with an opportunity. Marky gets a nice block and a pinch dangerously from Adri. Mix now, with his lack of boost, needs to get rid of this. Obscure reads it well, keeps it down into the center. Marky's there. A weak shot, and Adri with a great save. Hits the post. Obscure tries to get the pass into the center. Mix with a great interception. Cherry rotating back with Marky now, trying to get the flick over the opposition. Both Mix and Anthony miss. Mix now gets it over one, an opportunity. It looks like it's in.
Oh my goodness, this overtime just been back and forth, but finally Mix on the counter-attack. It looks like, you know, that double commit could have really cost them, but they do manage to find a gap in the LyNx Clan's rotation. I feel like all three players pushed up way too much. Now LyNx Unicorns, they do find themselves on series point as they are 2-1 up. This series is neck and neck so far, and we'll have to see if LyNx Clan can force a deciding game.
Game 4 underway. A player just left unexpectedly. I'm not sure why that was, but the game continues with all 6 players on the field. LyNx Unicorns with one more game to win to complete their win in this series. Cherry takes a nice shot to start with, gets a demo on Adri, who managed to get the ball cleared upfield. Marky hitting the ball high. Mix just misreading that. It's very unfortunate. Adri clearing upfield once again. Manages to get a hit. Tries to leave it off from Mix. He does do so, and Adri tries to get the ball into the center. Faye, did you see a lot of booms from these players just hitting it upfield and hoping they can make a follow-up? How do you think they should be playing it?
I think they should make more use of passes, to be honest, because, you know, in this situation, like, both teams' defense are playing pretty solid for the most part, and really just booming the ball down the field isn't going to achieve much unless you manage to, you know, get a huge whiff from one of the players. But as I say that, Adri does manage to score this one, and yeah, this was off of a close play, no pass though, but yeah, as I said, more passes are needed. I feel like you'll try get the ball to your teammates instead of just hitting it needlessly to your opponents and giving up possession, because I feel like that's what's caused most of the problems on offense for both these sides.
Indeed, as Mix clears that off to the side. Obscure tries to play it back into the center. Unfortunately, Adri is there, hitting it upfield, and Anthony couldn't quite read the bounce. Mix keeping it high. There's another touch on it, and Adri backs away as Marky waits on the wall for a potential cross into the center. Mix hitting it upfield. The ball is placed over both players, and Adri gets another opportunity, hits the crossbar, leaves it for Mix, and Mix gets a second goal.
Yeah, it's a very nice clean-up from Mix, capitalising off the backboard hit from Adric, was he trying to follow it himself, but yeah, I think the players, you know, of the LyNx kind of respected who's it, Adri a bit too much there for that double touch, and you didn't realise Mix was there for the follow-up, and that is now 2-0 to the Lightning Unicorns, getting off to a really good start in this game.
The ball placed high into the center dangerously, and Marky gets a nice control touch, manages to get it over Adri. The ball flicked high by Mix. Adri now trying to go for controlled touch, but Obscure hits it, tries to center it. Unfortunately, no one is there. Anthony gets a nice clear. Unfortunately, it's just off target, and Cherry managed to get it around all three of the players. Mix rotating back, the ball bouncing high. Mix reads it. Makes sure that he does try and get a better clear. Unfortunately, Maki was waiting patiently. Adri now trying to get a nice clear himself. Ball with Anthony under the... And unfortunately, Mix with a nice flick from Anthony can't quite get the shot off. Anthony getting it under Cherry, and Anthony now trying to get it around Obscure. Ball played high and upfield. Cherry tries to go for a demo on Adri, and Marky gets it into the center. Anthony, dangerous 50 there. Thankfully, Mix managed to get to the ball. Cherry keeps it high. The ball is off the back wall. Anthony misses. Adri gets a nice clear and hit high. Obscure gets a control touch, tries to follow it up, leaves it for Marky, and goes for the follow-up on his hit. Marky hitting it high, tries to get a second hit. Unfortunately, doesn't have enough boost. Cherry unable to reach it. Also Obscure tapping it down. Can Marky reach it? He can. Unfortunately, Anthony does reach him. Marky hitting it high. Adri getting a nice clear. Cherry tapping it down to Marky. Unfortunately, had to rotate around. Obscure hitting it into the center, hopefully, but Adri gets a nice clear. Cherry getting a shot off. Mix is there. Taps it down to a Cherry is waiting. Cherry tries to get into the center to Obscure. Obscure off the back wall. Adri trying to get a nice follow-up. Anthony now with an opportunity, but Marky is there. Gets a nice block. Adri hitting it across to where Anthony is, as well as Mix. Cherry getting blocked by Mix once again, and Cherry with an opportunity. The ball bounces up. Marky gets a nice read. It is an open net. Anthony with a great save off the backboard. A minute to go. Cherry unable to hit the ball. Obscure now trying to get a good center. Unfortunately, Mix is there. Another opportunity for Marky as Adri misses, and Anthony thankfully manages to reach it. The ball just being pelted at this corner wall, hoping that they can manage to get themselves an opportunity. Unfortunately, it's just not the case with the rotation of the Lightning Unicorns.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I've been seeing so far from the LyNx kind of just, yet again, trying to just pellet at the corner wall most of the time, but never mind, as Cherry managed to find a goal finally after so much pressure on the Lightning Unicorns yet, and it was just a high ball. Adri could not make contact, and there was no one else there to cover. Now LyNx kind of, they have got themselves a chance in here, but I feel like they need to change their approach in the offensive end because it's just not working really well for them at the moment.
There is still 30 seconds left in this game, and LyNx Clan desperately need this other goal to at least tie and put it into overtime. Cherry playing it up to Marky. Marky with another opportunity. The ball is placed on net. Unfortunately, Anthony does get the save. Obscure getting a nice bit of control play. Unfortunately, Anthony managed to get it across. Marky gets a good read. Mix with an opportunity. Keeps it upfield. Obscure now getting an awkward touch. Tries to keep this in his possession. And Anthony gets a nice block. Cherry dangerously getting a pinch. And there's not enough time. Lightning Unicorns secured the series.
Yeah, there was just a little bit of pressure there from the Lightning Unicorns. It was just enough to keep LyNx Clan out of this. But yeah, it was just a great game for Lightning Unicorns. They played so solid throughout the entire game, despite that, you know, late goal from the LyNx Clan off of a whiff. But Yeah, the LyNx clan, I feel like they just didn't have the right approach to the offense. You know, it just felt like they were just hitting it right at their opponents, and nothing was going in. Whereas they could have just tried to be a little bit more creative, perhaps, and that maybe would have given them some more success. But nevertheless, well played to LyNx Unicorns, getting themselves a 3-1 win. Not as close as we first expected, but yeah, it was an exciting series to watch nonetheless.
Indeed, it was. And if you are just tuning in, unfortunately, the game for today has ended. LyNx Unicorns taking a 3-1. If you are new to the ECC, we have a bunch of links down below which you can click. One leading to the Discord, which allows you to join and potentially play in the league matches and potentially playoffs once they arrive, and other tournaments that we will be planning ourselves. There will be one to the Twitter which will notify you as to when streams are live, and to scoreboard updates as to where teams are on the leaderboard. There'll be one to the YouTube, so if you have missed this stream, you can go and click that and just rewatch the game and just admire the beauty of these two teams. Also, there is a donation button which you can donate to us as little or as much as you want. All is appreciated. There is also a Mascherino link that will be floating around in the Twitch chat, which you can click and use the code ECCS4, all caps, and that will give you 50 cents in to the prize pool, which teams like these have the potential to obtain. I have been Coast Wolf. This has been Faded and Timmy. We will see you all later.